Hello everyone, Anna Wheaton here from Nudge Nudge Ink Ink. I promised, because I had such a big response to my mum's 90th birthday card, that I would pop on and show you how it's made. I had a few inquiries. This is the card. I don't have the actual card anymore because I've given it to my mum last weekend. But it was a Concertina card, which I'm going to show you because I will recreate it for a friend who's turning 50. So I'm just going to flip round so that you can see my workbench and go from there. Okay, so I'll show you this using white cardstock, but I'm actually making the card with blue cardstock. Our normal card front is 1/4 of an A4, which is 10.5 by 14.8. What I'm going to do is cut that down by 1/2 centimetre. So I'm going to make it 10. And then I'm going to score this, taking 1/2 centimetre off a card front to create a panel that is 14.3. Then I'm going to move that over and score it at 14.3 again. And I'll show you where this is heading. Now, what I've done is I've created 2 panels that are 1/2 centimetre smaller than a card front. So here is a card front, and I'll just show you what I mean. That's a short card front. Why did I pick that one? There we go. Okay, so you can see there's a 1/2 centimetre, 2.5 mil border all the way around. All right, so this is narrower than a card, but then because I've scored this at 14.3 and 14.3, it means that there is a little flap at the end, because what we're going to do is create a whole bunch of these panels that will then attach together. So I'll show you what I've done here. We've got exactly what I've done. This is Misty Moonlight. And we have the score line and the score line and then the little flap. If you wanted to make a full-size card, you wouldn't have any overhang there for joining. So that's why I've made it slightly smaller. You'd have to add some extra little bits of cardstock and so on. So with these, what I'm going to do is fold them and score them, burnish them on those fold lines to create that. So let's just do that. Oh, hello, Sarah. Let's just do that with all those panels. So see, these are all going to be the same. Okay, card front, flap. Now, for my mum's birthday card, I had 10 different 10 different faces that were zigzagged, which had 9 candles on each. For this 50th birthday card, I'm going to do the same thing because it's more spectacular to have 10 panels. So I could have done, you know, with a 50th birthday card, I could do 5 panels with 10 candles, or I could do 10 panels with 5 candles. So that gives you a better zigzag. Okay, so there we have them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2. Why have I got 6? Oh, I've got 6 because I just cut them all from one piece of A4. Okay, then I want to get this. So I'm going to join these together. So this little panel here is where I'm going to add my sticky. and then I'm going to join that on there. And then I'm going to repeat it like that. So there's my sticky again. So I'll show you how that works. Little bit of Tombow. Tombow is good because you've got wiggle room. So that's on my flap. I'm then going to add this so that it is facing the same way. So if I've got them side by side, it's exactly the same fold. So the little flap is here, and I'm going to put this one on top of that one. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why that is in just a moment. Then I just want to be a little bit patient, or if I had some sort of clip, I could add that just to hold them in place. Oh, it's in Sarah, I've got you joining from LA and Sue Phillip joining from Canada. No one from Australia. Nice to hear from you, Sue. And Sarah, yes, recreating my mum's card. So we're starting to get the zigzag. So my next one, I'm going to attach the same way. So see, I've got my two flaps here. I'm going to add glue here and stick this on top to line them up as I go. Now, the reason you might think, well, why don't I tuck that in there like that instead of putting it on top? If you did that, you're going to be cutting off or shifting your card over slightly all the way along. So if I do a few of those, oops, tucking them under that flap each time, can you see how that moves the card down a little bit each time? Okay, so that's not a good way to do it. So don't tuck it in there, put it over the top, and then you can line them up. So if you just do one panel at a time, be patient, stick it into place, and then just sort of stack it as you go so that you know that it's all lined up. So don't lay them all out and glue it in a big long line. Fold it as you go so that you know that it is going to just fold on top of itself nice and neatly and be nice and square. Thank you, Sue. My mum really liked it. She said she just kept opening it and opening and opening it, and she thought it would never end. And I said, well, you're not that old. You're old, but not that old. Hope your parents are going well, Sue, too, and hope they're settled. Okay, so you see, if this is the front of my card, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need one more of these. So again, line them up, flaps in the same place. Now, your last, as I add this one, I've still got a little flap to join another one on. Now, I can cut that off if I want to because I've got enough panels, or I can leave it because I might want to add a white piece to write on. I just left it till I was sure I didn't need it. So that's a little bit of advice. Okay, so here we have my concertina, like so. Then it is time to add the panels. So like I said, if you've just tuned in, I'm now recreating my mum's card, but I'm making a 50th. And I've decided I still want 10 panels because that's a more spectacular concertina. So therefore, I'm just having 5 candles on each of the pieces of cardstock. So I've cut now some white pieces, basic white, that are again 5 mils smaller. So these ones, you see, when I put them on, we've got a 2.5 mil border all the way around. All right, so I'm just going down in size. Then I've grabbed the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper. This 50th is for a male, so I just went with all the blues from this, particularly the back side of the designs. And I've cut a bunch of strips in amongst everything else, that are 1 centimetre wide. Now, some of them are super short, and I'll show you why that is in just a moment. But what I'm doing is I just put a line of Tombow on my white panel, straight line, and then I could glue a piece of DSP on there with a little bit hanging over the edge. Then, because I'm having 5, I've got 1 in the middle, 2 here, 2 here, total of 5, and I just play with the angles a little bit. So that one off to the side like that. By putting the glue straight onto the cardstock, I've got no problem of glue going over the edge and onto my work surface, and it also means there's not glue on these pieces that overhang, because I'm just going to trim those off. So I just vary the length and the angles like so. Once I've done that, I just set it aside for a little while and let me just do another panel. I'm not going to do 10 panels. Don't worry, I have already I've got some I've prepared earlier. That's the same. And one more. Now, Tombow's a liquid glue, so sometimes your bit of paper will sort of lift up a little bit, but you can just press it back down again and it will attach like so. Okay, so I've done 2 panels. This one will be plenty dry, so I can flip that over. Now, if I was just starting all of these pieces I'm trimming off, I can use the bit that's trimmed off. That's why my pile has a lot of little pieces in it. They're from the other panels that I made. So that's trimmed, and when I trim, I much prefer to just turn that over and work from the back. Then you know you're lying it up against the edge of the card and using our super sharp paper snips. So there are 2 panels. Next is the flames. So have a look around your punches, because lots of things will make flames. I used the cherry punch. Those leaves are perfect for flames. You might have a punch that has a bird wing. We've had apple punches, we've had a lemon punch. So you would probably very easily find in your stash something that would cut flames. This is the bow punch. It has little ones, so depending on the size of your candle, these might be perfect as well. Then I'm getting a piece of shimmer, silver glimmer, and our adhesive sheets. This just makes it so much quicker. So our adhesive sheets come in a sheet like so, and you can see there are 3 lines down them. That's because there's 3 pieces on the sheet like that. So if I just find that peel off section, the part that I'm peeling off is the sticky side. Let's just hope I've got my, ooh, it's a bit wide. That's a problem because it is super sticky. So bear with me, I'm just going to get rid of that. I don't even cut the sticky because it'll gum up my scissors. So I'm just cutting off a little bit of the glimmer paper. Be gone. All right, now I've got that ready for my flames. Now, just a point of interest here. If you notice, if you used this punch, there's 2 leaves and they point in the same way. So that's the tip of my flame and that's the tip of my flame, and they both point to the right. So if you want some variation, you can punch some like so. But then if you turn the punch over, you just punch a few. Oh, there's my big mistake there. Actually, go down here. I'm going to end up with a flame stuck in my punch. Here we go. Now, you may notice I've gone for working from the other direction so that I'm not using valuable paper cutting out that part of the punch. So see, depending on which direction you go, that stalk is punching, but that's where I've already been, so that doesn't matter. So I end up with my flames facing in a couple of directions instead of all just one. You might like them to be all in one direction. And then I'm going to grab my flames and just use my thumb to peel off that backing and put them in place, which usually happens quicker. It's just because you're watching. So see, I've got two flames there facing the left, so let's grab one that's facing to the right. Now that one sticks out a little bit, but that's okay, because remember we've got a little bit of a border that we can overlap into. If it's stuck out the top of the card, I might consider trimming it. Now I'll do these flames afterwards, because I'll show you how this comes together now. Here are other panels that I've already made. All prepared. There's one where the flame went right over the top, so I did trim it because that would stick out the top of my card. So this is going to be the front of my card, which we'll decorate shortly. And so I can just work my way through adding these panels. So 5 candles, 10, 15, 20, don't know what, oh, I got a bit odd size, don't quite match, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, with flames to be done, 45, 50. So there's that one where it sticks out the top. Doesn't matter because it's on the blue. Okay, so that's the end of my card. I am going to trim that off. I've decided. So I can put a piece of white on the back of that to write our message on. So that's the same number of zigzags as my mum's card had, but she had 9 candles per section. Okay. All right, next step is I'm going to take some Misty Moonlight ribbon and tie that around. Yes, Sarah, adhesive sheets do make it so much easier and a lot less messy as well. Now, this is where you must not get fooled, because we want to attach the ribbon, but not too thoroughly, because you can compromise the zigzag. Okay, so there is my ribbon. I was a bit generous with that. Here's a panel I've already got ready. Now, you could stick that down if you want to onto the card. Just the front though, not the back. I'm just going to go ahead and attach this, and I'll just put a bit of adhesive there. So that's also got a piece of that Country in DSP on it. So there's the front of my card. And then I've actually gone and cut out some of our alphabet a la mode, and again using the adhesive sheets. I don't know how you would stick these on without them, because it would be very hard. I'm a good glue aimer, but it would be very hard without it going out the side. 50. So I'm going to attach that to here, but I'll just point out here, you may be tempted to say, okay, I'll attach something to the back there over the ribbon as well, but you can't, all right? You must leave that free, because all of the card has to fold out from in here, right? So if you undid that and it was attached, just let me hold it like that, you would then not be able to open this, okay? You'd have a book is all. You would not have, if I let go of that, I can open it up. So be aware of that. By all means, put a piece of white there for writing on, but do not glue it over the ribbon, because you'll be sad. It'll still be nice as a book, but okay. I love the Country in all the blues, and that because it's got navy, it's got boho blue, it's got misty moonlight, and so on. Now, a little hint: if you are going to attach 50 to this, don't start on the left, start in the middle. And then the other thing you can do is just grab a ruler that you can line things up on. So my middle letter is F, and this is where, actually I'll lower that down a bit. Have you ever made something with careful lettering and then discovered that you've left a letter out? Or you've got them in the wrong order. I'm really nervous now. You could draw a pencil line if you wanted to, but I usually find a ruler works really well. Peel off backing on those adhesive sheets. It's really easy to take off. I just tend to peel it off with my thumb. Just get into it like that with the edge of your thumb. Some people use a tool, but always go with the back, because that's what's peely. The front, you don't want to sort of mess with the front and feather it or rough it up. Now, I must remember to add those last flames in my own time. There we go. So there you have a 50th birthday card in the same style as my mum's 90th. I'll just show you again. We undo the ribbon. I think I might put a mini glue dot in under that. And then you start opening it up, and you have your 50 candles. Need some flames. I did that with my mum's too. I assembled it and then discovered one panel did not have the flames. So there you go. I hope that's helpful with the how-to, and I hope it's inspired you to try it yourself. it's a special one for a special age. So think of who you've got in your family or friends who might like it. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy creating. Bye.